Just a couple of weeks ago, the Irish Army Ranger Wing were involved with a very daring operation on the high seas off the south coast of Ireland. With the aid of the Irish Navy, the Irish Air Corps, the Gardaí, Interpol, and various other intelligence and security agencies, they were able to fly in fast rope off a helicopter down onto the deck of a cargo ship, commandeer that ship, bring it home, and discover well over a significant consignment of Class A drugs, estimated worth of in excess of €100 million. That consignment was destined for European markets, and those drugs would in turn lead to further pain, suffering, and issues in our communities. Um, but it really is a drop in the ocean when you think about it. And if you asked me the same question last year, like what did I think about drugs? I would have said that there was a lot of legislation out about the controlled use of soft drugs. Um, but these days, I've totally changed my mind against it completely because there's a new drug on the market and it's called fentanyl. Fentanyl is a synthesized drug that was invented in Belgium, I think it was, and the purpose of that drug was a pain relief for cancer patients who were suffering from very rigorous cancer treatments. Fentanyl is 100 times more potent than morphine. And when I think about the days I had my appendix taken out and I was prescribed morphine for a few days, I was very hooked on it. And to think that there's something out there that is 100 times more um, potent, I really have to draw the line on it. Drugs. What can I say about Class A drugs like heroin and cocaine? They're really bad. However, with this fentanyl added to the mix, it sounds like a real end of the line kind of drug. Once you get hooked on fentanyl, it's the end of your life. So, what is fentanyl? Fentanyl is, they make it, it's so bad that the chemists that actually make the stuff have to wear gas masks because the fumes from it, even just an inhalation of the fumes, is enough to induce a severe brain stroke and death follows. When they've actually made it, it's in a pure form and it's lethal. It's a poison. You cannot take it in its pure form. It has to be mixed. And what they've done is they're mixing it with the cocaine and they're mixing it with the cocaine and heroin so that when they distribute that out to the heroin and cocaine addicts, they get hooked on the fentanyl. And it's really distressing to see that it is officially it's a pandemic in America. It really is bad over there, and statistically, it's something like 6% in the European market, and that number is only just going to keep growing. Um, so, what is it about drugs? When you think about drugs, you think about addiction. When you think about addiction, you think about boredom. And when you think about boredom, you realize that the modern life that we're living in, we have everything handed to us. We have our basic needs covered. We have food, water, shelter. We even have social welfare. It's very easy to find yourself with nothing to do. And furthermore, what do we normally do every day? The first thing you do when you wake up is you check your Facebook, you check your emails, you check your WhatsApp, whatever. And throughout the day, you spend most of your time flicking through various medias, keeping up to date with various newses and the like. On top of that, we don't take into full consideration what we're eating these days. We don't really take into consideration the likes of vaping, smoking, alcohol, sugar in our diets as well. Um, what is happening is you find yourself not engaging with your community. If you spend more time online and less time talking with your friends, talking with family, what happens is you tend to seclude yourself from everything. And that's dangerous because then you're left to your own devices. And once you get bored of browsing the internet, watching my podcasts and stuff, you turn to what's the next fix. Um, Usually for me, it's a bar of chocolate or a bag of crisps, and that just ruins my diet straight away, and it kind of gets me down. And of course, if you're depressed or if you're in long-term depression, you keep looking for ways to get happier or to just to take the edge off your depression. So straight away, you become open to the idea of drugs. And once you get that into your system, it really is end of the day. There's a lot of different addictions in our society. Um, we have to get used to the idea of just doing nothing, you know, spending a bit of time not watching, not eating, not thinking about anything in particular, just a bit of mindfulness time. Um, just to realize that about 90% of our lives is literally just sitting around doing nothing. If we had no internet, if we had no TV, if we had no source of news, or if we had no sugar in our diets, if we had no vaping or whatever, a lot of that time is just standing around waiting until you're hungry, you know? Um, so, what can we do to combat the likes of drugs in our community? Well, there it is. You engage with your family and your community. You stay in contact. You stay out of trouble. You get involved with clubs. You can get involved with the GA for Oiga. There's a whole scatter of other clubs and things out there. I can't think of anything else. Um, but it's important. It's important that you do stay connected with the community. You might not have a drug issue, but somebody else might. And simply by getting those people out and about and doing things, you're keeping them away from that situation, and you're directing their minds away from things like drugs. What more can I say? From a military perspective, drugs are used in the military. Um, One case comes to mind is the fact that when the Germans, during the Second World War, when the Germans were attacking the Maginot Line, apparently when the Germans were invading France as well, like they were all high on PCP. They were PCP is a drug, makes you fearless, and drugs like that are designed to take the edge off, takes the stress out of you. So all you can do is just focus on getting the job done. Today, there is a severe drug epidemic in Ukraine. I I wouldn't say anything about the Ukraine side, but definitely from Russian bloggers in the on the Russian side, doctors are saying that one in every two patients coming from the front line are addicted. So it is endemic in soldier life, and it's important. Um, it's really important to be aware of that fact, especially when soldiers are rotating out from the front lines. Things aren't going too well, and if they end up back in civil life, that's just trouble down the road. So, what more can I say? Stay away from drugs. That's all I say. Take care.